If you're here to see the healer, don't bother. He's a quack and a butcher who likes to watch people suffer. And I mean it! He's a know-it-all from Camelot, but the truth is, he doesn't know shit. All those learned types think they're better than us village folk, just 'cause they read a book. And we've been getting by just fine without any of their crap. I came to him with a toothache, asked him to make me something for the pain, and you know what he did? He said my tooth is rotten, and then sent me to Osbrit to get it pulled out. Sounds like horse crap. My grandma was smarter than your lot, and she couldn't even read. She knew how to make a proper potion for a toothache. If I was any good at mixing that stuff, I wouldn't need to deal with quacks like Heber. I even gave him my grandma's recipe, but he said it was no good. Oh yeah? And then what? Another and another? Give it a few years and I'll be left with no teeth. Ah, leave me alone.
Mandrake root, parsley, and a pig's heart? How is this supposed to make any sense? How can it even... Oh, sorry. Do I know you? I'm terrible with faces. Either way, glad to make your acquaintance. I'm Jan Heber, a physician raised in Camelot and trained in the Royal Academy. Why would you, though? Don't you have better things to do? Well, if you're not in the mood for sharing, then I won't ask. You might have more success getting people to trust you with their personal matters if you were a little bit more forthcoming, you know? Back in Camelot, I knew a mercenary who had a very similar view of the world. He wasn't very happy when he got too old for his line of work. Then, there was nobody willing to give him anything to do. Do you know why that was? Because nobody cared about him, just like he never cared about anyone. I'm pretty sure he's dead now. Huh, see? I don't even know. But all right, if you're a mercenary, then I do have a job for someone who'd be willing to risk their life in exchange for material goods. Straight to the point, eh? All right. I need someone to perform a ritual within a stone circle nearby. You go there, read a spell, do whatever needs to be done, come back and tell me exactly what happened.
You're back.
Oi, friend. A question. Do you know why people always stop and watch a blacksmith at work? Because he's riveting. It's good to see a new face in this sad hole. Oh, of course, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Osbrit, the local master of hammers and anvils. Do you need your blades sharpened? Ha! Friend, I wish. But the only task I could use help with might be a bit too delicate for you to handle. But unless you're a master goldsmith, then feel free to prove it, and I'll have work for you immediately. There's just not enough of them to go around. And now that we're on lockdown, there's not much demand for my services either. Ever since we lost our great mine, I've been working with scrap sent over here from Camelot. Now that I think of it, I might have a task for you. You seem like the kind of person who could wander around this damned island with no fear of getting stabbed by some bandit, right? You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I'm so bored here. So bored. It would be nice to work on something other than Keeper's Blades again. If you happen to wander near the Forgotten Cemetery, keep your eyes open for any old relics. Bring them back, and I might be able to come up with something special for your weapons. Magical, I mean. Well, if you're not up for hunting for magical artifacts, you could always bring me some upgrade materials. They can work wonders on your weapons. Basically everywhere. But if you need them, like right now, I'd start in the Sunken Village. They had a decent workshop there, and I'm sure the bandits didn't loot at all. Not with all those monsters creeping around.
Bloody seagulls! Can you hear me, you flying vermin? Just try landing here and I'll pluck your asses clean. A keep by the sea. What a great idea that was. And what do you want? I'm fixated. Me! Oh, you didn't see what they did to me a week ago. I was just standing watch as usual, and then, suddenly, splat. A dozen of them flying overhead, screeching, shitting and whatnot. So, I yelled what I think about them, shaking my fist. And then another 4, splat! And they kept screeching. I tell you, they're laughing at me. I spent all night cleaning my armor. Sewell didn't think it through when he decided where to put the keep, mark my words. And I don't like how you seem to think I'm a fool. So, what now? Should I shit on you for that? I don't think so. I once managed to shoot a few. I thought they'd learned their lesson and wouldn't be flying over here anymore. And guess what they did? They kept shitting. With increased force. Like they're planning it. Vengeful scoundrels. I need to try a different strategy. Find something that will make them feel real terror. Like the way crows are afraid of scarecrows in fields. I'm sure seagulls also have something that scares them. We just need to find out what it is. A fee? I'm not asking you to hunt down a monstrosity from Grubwood or the Sunken Village. Ah, whatever. As you wish. You'll get your fee. You must think yourself an expert, damn you. I just need you to bring me some kind of a bird scarer. They'll learn their lesson and keep away from me. I don't know. I'm not sure if there's anyone crazy enough to take up something like this. There is one guy in the museum, Riderick. He's supposed to know everything.
I've a medicine for my father. Let me through.
Sure. Show me the pass and you can go.
Damn it, Tiernan. I don't have time for this.
I understand, but I can't let you through without a pass. Ask the captain to give you one.
Bloody hell, Tiernan. The captain's busy, and this is a matter of life and death. Come on, be a human here.
Not without a pass. I've got my orders.
What a nonce! Screw you, Tiernan. Who's there? Oh, you're my new worker. You don't look like one. And with arms like these, you couldn't even lift the tiniest of rocks. Burgess set you up for this. He did, didn't he? What a prick. Yeah, he used to serve, too. He was the builder before me. Now he's just an old fart angry at the world. But a father is a father, right? We may hate each other, but as long as I can help him, I will. Hence the medicine. Looks like it. Not that he'll ever admit it. Stubborn bastard. Our healer doesn't know what to do with him. Hey, you're heading to the village, right? Tiernan should let you in. Take this medicine to my father, will you? Goban is a loud man. You shouldn't have trouble finding him. I can't promise that talking to him will be any fun. Come to me afterwards. And you, Tiernan, can eat a dick.
If you want to enter the village, I need to see your pass. Thank you. You can go.
Do you need help settling in, dear? This isn't the best day to start a new life in this place, but we don't always get to choose, do we? What a nasty business with that boy. I'm almost glad my Morris isn't here for this. He's such a bleeding heart. I'm sorry, dear. I hope I didn't offend you. I'm still not used to all this. You see, I was born in Little Grove and thought I would live out the rest of my life there, working in the orchards in the mornings and drinking warm cider with my beloved in the evenings. We never wanted to see the world. I guess sometimes the world doesn't give us a choice, does it? That's what people say, but I never agreed. I weathered many storms with my Morris, coming out stronger each time. Avalon taught us to cherish the little joys of our everyday life. Without those lessons, we wouldn't have survived what happened to our village. Little Grove was raided by bandits, a local gang that had been terrorizing the area for months, growing in numbers with each raid. Their leader, Bald Kate they called her, somehow got hold of a branding iron used to mark outlaws. After pillaging a village, she'd brand some men and women of her choosing. That way, Kate made sure nobody would ever help them, and that they'd have no choice but to turn to her if they wanted to survive. My Morris used to be a skilled tanner. I guess that's why she picked him. But we decided to try our luck elsewhere. I don't know. The keeper at the gate turned Morris away because of the brand on his face. I would have left with him, but I was sick and exhausted from the journey, so I promised to join him when I got better. Except now I've no idea where to find him. No, he only promised that he'd find somewhere safe, but I'm not sure if there is any such place left in the south. Of course. There's not much I can give you. All we had left could fit into the one sack Morris carried on his back. But I managed to hide a few coins in my skirts when the bandits came. You can have them if you find my husband.
I've already told you I'm not going anywhere. If you want something from me, then... Oh, I don't know you. I'm Dugald. You're not one of us. And you're not local either. You could have chosen a better moment to come here. Kinda poor ambience, if you know what I mean. Well, at least we have a roof over our heads.
Something happened. Frang lessons.
Time for another hanging.
What? You had me there. I like you already. Such a mess, isn't it? Cola's all right, and Beatrice, what a shame. Such a fine girl. Anyway, I'm Ellis. Nice to meet you. What do you need?
What? Are you here to gawk at the thief? Throw shit at him? Spit on his body? You don't know? So you're not from around here? I have no idea what brought you to this shithole, but you have my sympathies. As you can see, a man can be hanged here for something he didn't do just because of who he is. All in the name of so-called justice. That bunch of old louts has held some kind of a grudge against us from the moment we arrived. They're pickled in their prejudices around here, so when their stuff started disappearing, it was easiest to cast the blame on outsiders. My husband paid the price. It's very nice of you, but it doesn't change a thing. How could they leave him swinging in this wind? Heartless sons of bitches. I can't leave him alone here. The seagulls will come soon. I won't let them touch him. The keepers have no control over what's happening in this place. The quartermaster just buckled under the pressure of the accusations. They found their thief and dealt with him. Such an admirable efficiency in enforcing the law. But there was a problem. The following morning, there was another theft. Now what are they going to do? Hang us all? You haven't had much to do with other people lately, have you? I'm not sure if the captain even exists, and the quartermaster has buried his head in the sand. The villagers either think it's a conspiracy or they feel someone's made a terrible mistake. Thing is, no one ever admits to terrible mistakes, and we know the truth. Cole didn't do it. That's very kind of you. Something needs to be done. The tension between us, the villagers and the keepers, it's becoming unbearable. Tomorrow, someone else may hang.
Bloody hell. Look at this. The whole place is in a shambles. Bunch of decrepit old coots. They do nothing but shuffle around, stare at walls and sleep under leaking roofs. Can't even hammer a nail properly. I'm telling you, if I was still working here, this place wouldn't be falling apart. But I'm not. Oh, shite. I can't even stand to look at it, let alone live here. And who are you? What you want? You another one of Durar's freeloaders? What do you take me for? A senile old idiot? I know that my boy keeps sending all of you little pissants to snoop around his old man. Oh, how worried he must be. Boo-hoo! How did you all get it into your stupid heads that I am ill, huh? That's bullshit. Everyone's going on about how old Gabon's gonna keel over any time soon. And me? Still here, ain't I? Arseholes. I'm old enough to know what I'm talking about. I served my time. I've lived my life. And now you can all kiss my arse. So there. I swear, each one's dumber than the last. Listen, they wanted Heaver, that healer from the keep, to come here. He did. They wanted him to look me over. He did. Then he just threw up his hands, mumbled something to himself, and that was it. Hell, I should have been an healer. Wouldn't mind going around being a pain in everyone's arse for a living. These herbs. No idea what they're for. Heber said he doesn't know what's wrong with me, so there's no illness. I'm fit as a fiddle. Good thing that at least the one guy who hangs around, Finley's the name, doesn't nag all the time. Yeah, right. He'd better focus on his job.
Beer from Kunacht, wine from Farshire, moonshine, only local, the best there is. And fish, lots and lots of fish. What's your poison? No, I don't recall anything like that. But that means... no. Impossible. What if... Holy moonshine. I remember. Sigibald. It was Sigibald who left those documents behind. I've no idea how you found out about it. Sigi. He's dead. Taken by a fever. Aye, of course I have. I didn't just throw them in some cabinet. I was afraid they'd fall into the wrong hands. He was a good man. I wouldn't get rid of my only memento of him. Here, after what you said, I assume you'll make good use of them. Even though I'm still not sure what to think about it. Things are getting weirder and weirder in our beloved Avalon. No problem. Listen, if by some miracle you really talked with Sigibald, please, give him my warm regards. I don't understand anything anymore.
Who are you? Another refugee? This place is already crawling with your lot. It's like a Camelosian privy after a feast. In my day, you only saw old, familiar faces round here. And maybe we didn't all love each other, but a local is a local. It was easier to share with others, even when you didn't have much. A problem? No. No problem, just rambling to myself. But now that I look at you, sure enough, you don't look like one of them.
Excuse me, could you get me a clean glass? And I mean clean, not just wiped 3 times with a dirty rag. I don't mean to say that you peasants all look the same, but you have to understand it's quite difficult for people like me to tell anyone apart in all this dreariness. Especially since there seems to be so many people like you here. I thought the South was supposed to be more secluded. Well, I'm sorry if you felt offended. I won't bother you anymore.
Hello, child. You look competent enough. I can see that you're not of noble blood. Oh, no need to tell me that. I have tutored the children of aristocrats from all over Avalon. Fortunately for you, my opinion of them is not particularly high. Oh, and you don't look like one of the locals. Are you a visitor? Or an adventurer? You can talk. Now, I'm sure we'll get along. My name is Lady Elaine. I oversee the Farshire Library, the greatest collection of books in this part of Avalon. Oh, biding my time until a brave adventurer with a death wish comes along and asks if there's anything they can help me with. Oh, surprising. I'm looking for someone who will help me find a certain artifact. So, are you interested, child? I came to the Horns of the South because I found a fascinating book. It referred to a certain object, a figure most likely, which has the ability to dispel the wordness like a menhir can. Apparently, it can be found on the ship called Andraste, which sank over 100 years ago somewhere in this area. However, when I asked those nincompoops about it, they just laughed at me. They said that the Andraste wasn't carrying anything of value, and even if it was, they wouldn't freeze their butts off in those chilly waters. The Last Voyage of the Andraste by Elvis the Lightkeeper. He was one of the more notable keepers. In his waning years, he became an adjutant to Captain Lex. But it's best if you read it yourself. You can read, can't you? But just be very careful. This is a very rare publication. Read it very carefully, and after you're done, come to me, and I'll tell you more. A deal? And they say young people don't want to learn anything. Come on, chop, 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 get to reading. And? Have you... Oh, splendid, splendid. According to Elvis the Lightkeeper, in the mine near the Horns of the South, they found something that they took with them on the ship. And you're telling me you've come back when you've done more than just skimmed it. Have you read? Good. That's right. This is the artifact I'm looking for. One that might be according to Elvis's description. The figure is smaller than a menhir and light enough that they were able to carry it to the ship without any trouble. Were it small, it would probably have been placed in Captain Lex's quarters instead of in the hold. I've estimated it should be about 1 meter tall. Good. Next question. What was the Andraste's destination? And you come back with... And... But according... That's right. Good. What was... And come... And... Splendid. That's right. Were good. What was... Come... That's right. Were good. What was... Correct. Be very careful with what I'm about to tell you. But some believe that the Red Priests are dedicated to studying the wordness instead of the Red Death. Captain Lex must have thought they'd pay him generously for a Four-Dweller artifact. Last question. What sank the Andraste? And you come back. And... Splendid. That's right. Good. What was... Correct, Captain. Last... Yes. You did well, child. I can see that you were paying attention. According to Elvis, the Andraste was sunk by the legendary terror from the deep. But if you want to know more, ask your keeper friends. They should be much better informed. Now, all you need to do is find the wreck of the Andraste and retrieve the mysterious figure. Oh, if only I knew. It must have happened somewhere on the way between the Horns of the South and the Island Asylum. Oh, but where exactly? Fortunately, I know something that could help us. In the Horns of the South Museum, there are some extremely interesting books and documents lying around and collecting dust. Can you imagine having such treasures at hand and choosing to completely ignore them? Oh, barbarians! Among them, you'll find the Andraste's logbook, which was saved by Alvis. I've read it, of course, but I know nothing about sailing. I'm sure such a competent child as yourself will handle it much better. Go to the Horns of the South Museum, read the logbook, and then tell me whether you managed to locate the wreck of the Andraste.